Imagine you're drifting through space. No engine noise, no wind, no up or down. Just silence, stretching endlessly in every direction. You've been traveling for hours, maybe days. Time doesn't feel normal out here. There's no sunrise, no sunset, just a constant black sky scattered with distant stars that never seem to get closer. And then, you see it. At first, it's just a faint glow, a tiny shape sitting against the darkness. But as you drift closer, it begins to take form. A sphere, golden, smooth, almost glowing from within. You don't need instruments to recognize it. It's Saturn. And for a moment, you forget everything else, because Saturn doesn't look dangerous. It doesn't look chaotic. It doesn't look like something that could destroy you. It looks peaceful, beautiful in a way that doesn't feel natural, like something placed there intentionally, balanced too perfectly to be random. And that's exactly why it's so dangerous, because Saturn doesn't scare you at first. It pulls you in. From Earth, Saturn has always been different. Even early astronomers knew that. When Galileo Galilei first observed Saturn in 1610, he didn't understand what he was seeing. He described it as a planet with ears. Something strange, something unnatural. Later, Christian Huygens realized the truth. Those weren't ears, they were rings. And since then, Saturn has become a symbol of order in the chaos of space. While other planets looked rough, broken, violent, Saturn looked composed, balanced, perfect. But what you're seeing isn't the full picture, because distance hides detail, and detail reveals danger. As you approach Saturn, something subtle begins to change. At first, it's just a feeling. Your instruments flicker slightly. Nothing major, just small inconsistencies. But then you notice something else. The rings aren't solid. From far away, they looked like smooth bands. But now, you can see gaps. Dark spaces between brighter sections. Some areas look dense, others look almost empty. And as you move closer still, the illusion breaks completely. The rings aren't rings. They're debris. Billions, possibly trillions of individual pieces. Ice fragments, rock chunks, dust particles, all orbiting Saturn at incredible speeds. And they're not moving together. Each piece follows its own path, its own speed, its own orbit. This isn't a structure, it's a system in constant motion, a place where collisions happen every second, where objects slam into each other, shatter, and become part of the chaos. If you tried to fly through this, it wouldn't look like a smooth glide. It would look like survival, because even the smallest fragment, moving at tens of thousands of kilometers per hour, has the energy of an explosion, and you wouldn't see it coming. Out here, there's no air to carry sound, no warning, just impact. Here's something most people don't realize. Saturn's rings are massive. They stretch up to 280,000 kilometers wide. That's nearly the distance from Earth to the Moon. And yet, they're incredibly thin. In many places, only about 10 meters thick. That's thinner than a building, spread across a structure wider than a planet. It shouldn't exist like this. It shouldn't stay stable. And yet, it does. But the size isn't the most disturbing part. The disturbing part is how empty it is. If you were inside the rings, you might not see anything for kilometers. Then suddenly, a chunk of ice the size of a car flashes past you at impossible speed. Then another. It's unpredictable, unstable, and completely unforgiving. The closer you get to Saturn, the harder it becomes to control your movement. You don't feel gravity the way you do on Earth. There's no ground pulling you down, but it's there, constant, persistent. Saturn is enormous. Its mass is about 95 times that of Earth, and that mass creates a gravitational field that dominates everything nearby. Even at a distance, it's already affecting you. Your trajectory begins to curve. Your speed increases slightly without you doing anything. You try to correct it, adjust your course, but every correction feels weaker than it should, because Saturn isn't just pulling you, it's guiding you, slowly, steadily pulling you closer. And the closer you get, the less control you have. At some point, you realize something unsettling. There's no clear boundary, no line that says you are now entering Saturn. The rings fade behind you, the space around you becomes emptier, and ahead, clouds begin to form. Soft at first, golden, almost glowing in the reflected sunlight. They look calm, like something you could drift through, and for a moment, you believe it. You reduce speed, you prepare for descent, and then the winds begin. At first, it's just movement, a slight push, then another. The clouds aren't still, they're flowing, bands of gas moving across the planet at incredible speeds. You descend deeper, the light dims slightly, the clouds grow thicker, more layered, more chaotic. Then your instruments start reporting something alarming. Wind speeds increasing, rapidly, hundreds of kilometers per hour, then more until it reaches over 1,800 kilometers per hour. That's faster than most bullets, and it's not a gust. It's constant, a never-ending force pushing against you from every direction. You try to stabilize, but the atmosphere doesn't behave like air. It behaves like a fluid, thick, dense, unpredictable, and you're inside it now. This isn't weather. This isn't a storm. This is a normal state of Saturn. There is no calm layer beneath, no peaceful zone waiting below, only more intensity, more pressure, more force, and as you continue descending, one realization becomes impossible to ignore. You're not going to land, because there is nowhere to land. The pressure starts to rise. At first, your ship handles it. That's what it was designed for. But Saturn doesn't care about design limits. It doesn't have a surface to stop you, so the pressure keeps increasing, relentlessly. Your hull begins to creak, metal slightly bending under, forces it wasn't meant to endure. You descend further, the light is fading now. Clouds above you block the sun completely. You're surrounded by darkness, broken only by flashes of lightning deep within the atmosphere. The winds are louder now, not sound, but vibration. You can feel them through the structure of your ship. And then, the first structural warning appears. Not a failure, not yet, but a warning. Because Saturn doesn't destroy you instantly. It gives you time to understand what's happening. Just enough time to realize you can't escape. From Earth, Saturn doesn't look like this. It's just a point of light, small, steady, almost comforting. You can look at it through a telescope, see its rings, and feel like you're witnessing something peaceful, something distant, something harmless. But now you know the truth. Saturn isn't calm, it isn't gentle, and it definitely isn't safe. It's a world where there is no ground beneath your feet, no place to land, no way to survive, a place where winds never stop, where pressure never relents, where even light struggles to escape the depths. A planet that doesn't need to chase you, because eventually, everything comes to it, and maybe that's what makes Saturn so unsettling. Not its violence, not its storms, but its silence. Because Saturn doesn't roar, it doesn't explode, it doesn't announce its danger. It just exists, unchanging, unfeeling, unaware. For billions of years, it has been exactly what it is now. A perfect illusion, beauty, hiding something that would destroy you without hesitation, without effort, without even noticing you were there. So the next time you look up at the night sky and you see that tiny golden dot, remember this: you're not looking at a peaceful planet. You're looking at a place where survival is impossible, where physics itself turns against you, where even our best machines don't last. You're looking at something that has been here for over 4.5 billion years, and will still be here long after everything you know is gone. Saturn isn't the most beautiful planet because it's kind. It's the most beautiful because it hides the truth so well. If this changed how you see the universe, subscribe, because Saturn is just the beginning, and out there are things far worse than beauty hiding danger. There are places where even light doesn't escape.